All right, I've got some big stories to go through with you. Stories from the weekend, stories from the Trump hush money trial. What's really going on with Stormy Daniels? What's really going on with former lawyer Michael Cohen? What's going on with illegal immigration across the nation? And 100,000 people show up to a Donald Trump rally out in the state of New Jersey. There's a lot to go through. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's news broadcast. Massachusetts has issued a request from their citizens. The governor says the state is being overrun with illegal immigrants. However, instead of doing something about it, the governor is asking the citizens to allow these illegal immigrants to come into their home, to give them a free room to rent, and that they will help cover their food. Now, this is the same state that recently voted to direct taxpayer money over to illegal immigrants instead of to U.S. military veterans. So there's a big issue going on with Massachusetts. Their governor saying, we need you guys to step up and give free housing in your own homes to illegal immigrants and not, putting them up in shelters or something like that. Now, what I'd like to know from you is, would you want a single military-aged man living in your home from a different country, speaking a different language, no job, no goals, nothing, just dropped off at your house by the government? I can't wait to read your answers. I, for one, would not. I would not want the government forcing an illegal immigrant to live in my house. Now, Congressional Democrats have just exposed their scheme to rig the United States election system using illegal immigrants. The problem? Well, you wouldn't know unless you've been paying close attention. Now, thankfully, I'm going to go into this for you. While it's clear to everyone that illegal immigration is running rampant throughout the United States, most people don't see it as an issue for our elections, as illegal immigrants aren't allowed to vote. Unfortunately, the United States Census can be manipulated through illegal immigrants, and that affects the how many representatives you get in the House of Representatives, your state representatives, also the Electoral College. Now, under the current law, the census dictates how many electoral votes and House seats a state is allocated based on its population, not its legal resident population. Now, this means that a large yet illegal population in a given state can provide it with more electoral votes and House seats, which contributes to improper power over legislators and outcomes of elections. So, for example, most people just automatically assume that the 40 plus electoral votes of California are just going to immediately go towards a Democrat. But if they can increase their population, now maybe instead of like 46 votes, it goes up to 50 votes, right? Or maybe New York ends up picking up more votes, or New Jersey, or something like that. Now, to combat the issue, Republican Representative Chuck Edwards has just put forward the Equal Representation Act, which would require the electoral votes and House seats are only awarded to states based off their legal resident population, essentially only American citizens. Now, big shocker, big shocker here. House Democrats all voted unanimously against this. All 206 of them voted in favor of illegal immigrants being counted and then allowed to affect the election through the Electoral College. Now, they've been telling you, we want to get rid of the Electoral College and we want to pack the Supreme Court. Well, they know that they can't do that without people throwing a fit. So now they're going to manipulate the Electoral College. So the vote was 206 to 202, which means that the bill has not passed. and likely won't pass until we take back the Senate. But as of right now, Democrats want 100% of illegals to go towards the population count so that they can get more electoral votes. By the way, thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos because it really helps me out. So thank you so much. But even with this slim margin in the House, Biden has already claimed that he will not pass this bill. So it's dead in the water until Republicans take back the Senate. Now, holding the vote was still important, says Edwards, as his main goal was to show the American public that Democrats want to rig elections in their favor through illegal immigrants, not through policy change or what's good for the American citizen, red or blue, black or white. It all comes down to tipping the scale in their favor through flooding the country with illegal immigrants. By the way, I see you guys. Hello, I'm not ignoring you. There's just a lot to get through, but thank you guys so much for watching this. I see your comments over on the side. Now, with that being said, migrant flows are currently shifting from southern states up to the US-Canada border. If Democrats are able to continue funneling millions of immigrants into America, their plan may just succeed. Now, in my opinion, immigrants will likely self-organize in liberal states because they're going to get more freebies out of elected officials. Democrats know this. And again, they're trying to give them as much. So when New York says we can't handle any more people, this is an absolute tragedy. That is a lie. That's why they keep offering them free hotels, free stimulus checks, free food, $10,000 bonuses. The whole thing is to force them or encourage them or entice them to congregate in a blue state so that they can, again, rig the election in their favor. Now, thankfully, former President Donald Trump doesn't take kindly to election interference and is committed to stopping this. He stated, "My polls are the highest they've been because the people of America get it. They see the scam. They see what's happening." Now, Trump has committed to deporting as many illegal immigrants as he can and then working to improve legal immigration so that we can bring in the best and the brightest from around the world. Now, unfortunately for Joe Biden, he had to face this reality during a late night CNN interview. Host Aaron Burnett asked Biden if he's worried that time is running out because voters trust Trump more on the economy than they do him. In response, Biden lied and stated, "We've already turned it around. The polling data was wrong all along. When I say this interview was highly embarrassing, I mean it." In the same interview, Biden also shrugged off high gas prices by simply stating that Americans can afford it. Are you kidding me? It was proven that Biden lied 15 times in a 17-minute interview. This means that he lied almost once a minute, and Aaron Burnett did most of the talking. So he rarely opened his mouth, but every time he did, bleh, he just threw up lies. He absolutely threw up lies. Now, I'd like to know from you guys in the over in the community chat. Do you think that Biden has lost all of his empathy for your financial struggles? To me, it seems that he has. Literally, like, nah, Americans can afford it. Like, we're all rich, right? Like, we're being taxed to death. We have high inflation. Wages have stalled out. Everything's becoming more expensive. And his answer is, they can afford it. It's no wonder the vast majority of people say that they think the economy will be stronger under Donald J. Trump. Very, very interesting. Okay, now, thankfully, somebody at CNN has shown courage and brains. During yesterday's broadcast of GPS Sunday, host Fareed Zakaria, who supports Biden, by the way, admitted multiple damaging conclusions that he's come to. The first of which is that the polls usually underestimate Trump's performance, not overestimate it. So Biden was wrong there. In regards to his second point, I'd rather just read his own words. He stated, the trials against Trump keep him in the spotlight, infuriating his base, who sees him as a martyr and even may serve to make him the object of some sympathy among people in general, who believe that his prosecutors are politically motivated. This happens to be true, he says. In my opinion, I doubt the New York indictment would have been brought against a defendant whose name was not Donald Trump. A majority of Americans are skeptical that Trump will be able to get a fair trial, according to a CNN poll. Now, he went on for another 5 minutes, and I don't want to waste your time during this video, but he's basically admitting that the polls are usually in Trump's favor, not Biden's favor, and that CNN's poll, right, constant negative news, CNN, which is mostly watched by liberal progressive Democrats, saying their own people are saying Trump can't get a fair election and that Trump's better at the economy. So I don't know. Thank you, Fareed, for telling us the truth. Now, in regards to Trump's ongoing hush money sham trial, former lawyer Michael Cohen stepped up to the stand. When questioned by prosecutors, Cohen admitted to lying and bullying people, but he said he did it on behalf of Trump. He stated, yes, it was what was needed in order to accomplish the task. Ultimately, this trial will come down to who is most believed or liked. While I believe the credibility of both Cohen and Stormy Daniels have been damaged, I would argue that Trump has been as well. And that's the whole point of this. They're trying to humiliate him, drag his businesses, his family through the mud. Now, Stormy Daniels walked into her own storm as well. She was asked how many adult movies she has starred in. She shared that it was over 500. But then she quickly pointed out that she isn't just an actress, that she also directed hundreds of adult movies, to which Trump's lawyer said, okay, so you're good at inventing sexual situations. It was one of the best burns I've ever seen in a court case. It was absolutely epic. Such a gangster move. Oh, you've done hundreds of these adult movies, so you admit that you're good at inventing sexual situations. Oh, man. What a great burn. Now, even Bill Maher, who hates Donald Trump, said he interviewed Stormy Daniels in the past, and her story sounded fake. Now we read her testimony during trial and says, I know she's lying. She's a terrible star witness. Now, on top of that, we've just learned one of Alvin Bragg's paralegals admitted in the Trump trial that his office deleted 3 pages worth of phone calls between Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels' lawyer, raising questions about the evidence's integrity. Now, why would a paralegal be instructed to delete 3 pages worth of secret phone calls between your 2 star witnesses, between your 2 people that openly admit to hating Donald Trump and your 2 people that are broke and have financial incentive to do a shakedown? Now, you know 100% that if these transcripts and tapes incriminated Donald Trump, they would have never been deleted. They would 100% have been used against Trump. DA Alvin Bragg is running a sham trial in New York. It's insane. This person openly admitted in court to deleting evidence. So we have Jack Smith tampering with evidence down in Florida, and we have Alvin Bragg in New York telling people to delete evidence against Donald Trump. All the truth is coming out, you guys. All the truth is coming out. Thank you for supporting the channel. It's a lot of research to bring you guys this, but I love doing it. All right, now, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio was at the trial today to be supportive to Donald Trump. Some have speculated that Senator Vance is a serious vice president contender. However, Senator J.D. Vance says that he was only there to support the future president and be a friend. Now, a day after House Speaker Mike Johnson was saved by Democrats from being removed, he denied to involve himself in stopping Jack Smith from prosecuting Donald Trump. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene was furious that he refused to do this and stated, "That's not something you wave a wand and just eliminate. The special counsel as a provision. There is a necessity for function like that because sometimes the Department of Justice, without a conflict of interest, investigates or prosecutes the president, who's their boss, or the president's family." Now, the difference is the special counsel is supposed to be independent of the Department of Justice to be able to go after big witnesses like Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Hunter Biden. The difference is everybody knows that Jack Smith is biased against Donald Trump. Everybody knows that he was specifically selected to persecute and prosecute Donald Trump. So the fact that Mike Johnson isn't intelligent enough to see this tells me that he's very stupid or that he is lying to the American people. That's just how I see it. Now, following last week's revelation that Biden is illegally withholding congressional funding approved for Israel, Representative Corey Mills announced articles of impeachment against Joe Biden. During an interview with Fox News, Representative Mills stated, "These are the same accusations made against President Trump, which resulted in his impeachment by Democrats. The same must happen to Joe Biden, which is why we're drawing up articles of impeachment now." Now, despite his left-leaning tendencies, Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has stood up to Joe Biden on this very issue. During an interview with Politico, he stated, "It's a Democrat ally with an elected government, a unity government. We shouldn't be telling them how to conduct a war on their own border." To be fair, does anyone in the community think that Biden would withhold aid from Ukraine? I don't. So why is he withholding it from Israel? Why is Ukraine better for Biden than Israel? I don't know. Maybe Hunter never did business in Israel, so he's not trying to cover up family secrets and sins. Now, I'll bet you that this has everything to do with the fact that Israel is Jewish and Ukraine is not. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I know this. Biden is very hesitant to do much because he wants those Muslim votes in Michigan, but he also wants that Jewish money. So, but every day that goes by, his likelihood of beating Donald Trump just continues to drop like a rock. Now, when it comes to the actual war, the Biden administration has maintained that attacking the city of Rafah in Gaza is a big mistake. National Security spokesman John Kirby stated, "Any kind of Rafah ground invasion would actually strengthen Hamas's hand at the negotiating table, not Israel's. That's our view anyway." Now, Hamas does not want to negotiate, period. Kirby knows this and is making excuses for why he's not supporting an ally. Andrew Bailey, Missouri's Attorney General, has filed a FOIA, or Freedom of Information Act, to get all of the communication between the Department of Justice and all of the district attorneys going after Donald Trump. This is to see if there has been any kind of coordination between them in order to get a political enemy. We already know that it's there, but now they just want a paper trail. I can't wait for the truth to come out. In Gaza, it's estimated that 360,000 people have fled the city of Rafah, with the flyers coming down from Israel telling them get to a safe zone. At the current moment, Israel is pursuing what they call a limited ground offensive. From what I've read, it seems like they are sectioning off Rafah and then targeting specific areas. However, one of my main issues with this is if you drop these flyers to warn the people that you're coming in order to get Hamas, What, does Hamas not know how to read? Like, they just go, oh, we'll just go to the safe zone and continue to hide behind people. So although they're trying to be benevolent or give a heads up, as ugly as war is, it is a unique strategy. Like, Hamas is just going to move with the people because they make a better shield than the cement buildings that Israel will probably blow to kingdom come. Now, in Ukraine, Russia appears to be escalating attacks to capitalize on Ukraine's weakness before military weapons can arrive. According to Ukraine, 22 attacks were launched against the city of Kharkiv in the last 24 hours. These attacks have been called a tactical success. Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, stated, defensive battles are ongoing, fierce battles on a large part on our border area. Now, speaking of borders, remember when 200 illegal immigrants stormed the Texas border, hurting National Guard reservesmen and women? Not only were these men allowed into the country, given cell phones and money and a bus ticket, but according to the New York Post this morning, a judge has dropped all of the legal cases against them and removed any marks against them. Isn't that sweet? We wouldn't want these people who broke into our country illegally to start off their time in America with a criminal record. No, 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 no. That would be very, very bad. So what did the judge do? He dismissed all of the charges against them. So stupid. My gosh, we live in a banana republic. Lastly, Trump is 1 point away from having a majority, according to new polling data, in Virginia. Now, I think Virginia is at play, and that would be almost a dozen electoral votes that Trump could pick up. Also, maybe New Jersey is at play. 100,000 Trump supporters showed up on the beach to his political rally. Now, it could just be Trump fans, but the reason that I say New Jersey is at play is go back and look at their last governor election. Governor Murphy almost lost to a Republican contender. So you have Trump gaining ground in blue New Jersey. You also have the governorship gaining ground, right? So like, this thing's about to go purple, and it may even lean red in the very near future. So maybe New Jersey is peeling away from New York and saying, wait a minute, we want families, we want conservative values. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. What did you think about Trump getting 100,000 people to come out to a rally on the weekend? Like 100,000 people were like, you know what? I'll give up my Saturday to go listen. I'll give up my Saturday to go listen. I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting. I think Virginia's at play. I also think that Virginia and New Jersey are possibly at play. So let's see. Trump announced that New Jersey is at play. Yeah, well, so did Roger Stone, one of his top political advisors. All right, now I got to go get ready. I've got a huge live interview tonight with Tulsi Gabbard. I'm so excited to have her on the show. It's been almost 10 months of me and my team working with her to get her to come on the show. So I'm so excited to be able to bring that interview to you. Before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. Give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and stay amazing. And I will see you on the next video.